Welcome to another video, brother. It's 6:45 a.m. right now. I woke up at 5:30 to pray Fajr, but Fajr prayer time was around, I think, 4:21ish. But because I was sick yesterday and today as well, I was like, I must at least get 7 hours of sleep minimum. So I had to sacrifice that, and upon praying, I had to repent to Allah, on my prayer, telling him that, I wish I woke up on time to pray instead. But sometimes you have to realize that, you have to be grateful for your health, right? In the past couple of days, I will wake up at 4:15, pray Fajr, come downstairs to do my push-ups, and I will be whining. The moment the alarm ring, I will be complaining. Oh, it's only like 4 a.m. right now. I get to do these push-ups again. I have to go pray and do all of these things. I gotta expose my face with the cold water. But how blessed am I to first of all be waking up, having access to water. And today I was just reminded of that upon waking up. So instead of complaining, even though I felt sick, yesterday I felt so freaking weak. Today after waking up, I was like, man, Alhamdulillah first of all. Because this could have gotten a lot worse. I literally have a video on my Instagram of a guy I reposted, right? This guy literally has no hands, and yet if you could hear his words, he was positive. He sounds happy. He sounds grateful. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, definitely go to my repost and check out that video. But that video changed my whole perspective on life and the physical things that we get to do, because sometimes we do not realize the blessings Allah has given us. If you're a Christian watching this, it doesn't matter if you get to wake up every single day with 2 hands, 2 feet, in a home, in a warm bed. Brother, what do you have to complain about? Why give in to the temptations? Why give in to the bad habits? Because you feel bored, because you want to get some pleasure. What is more pleasurable than having a home that you get to wake up on every single day, in a warm bed sheet, there is food on the table, yet you still complain the fact that you get to work out, yet you still want to skip the gym, yet the moment you get a little temptation, a little boredom, you feel a little bit lonely, where are you going? Giving into the bad habits. And I am not talking like this to basically talk down on anyone. I'm talking to myself including, because this is something I used to fall for in the past. But getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, things started to change. I realized every struggle I'm going through is literally like a building block to the man that I pray to become. Because some of us pray to Allah every single time of the man we wish to become. You pray for these blessings, but the moment you get some hardship in the road, you look at that as a reason to quit, as a reason to avoid the hard things. But you have to realize that in order for you to actually become that man, Allah will actually put obstacles in front of you for you to overcome and get to that next level. Think back to the Prophet. I don't know a lot about the Prophet story, and I am no perfect Muslim, by the way. I am not perfect at all, and I am not claiming I am perfect. But the Prophet, I actually read this story because I read the Quran every single day, for 15 minutes ish, and I read some verses. I go to Quran.com. I just started doing that, I think, for the past 3 months. Like I said, I'm not a perfect Muslim, but reading the book Think and Grow Rich, I literally came across a page of a chapter that is titled Persistence. And he literally had the story of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, man. And ever since I read that from Think and Grow Rich of Napoleon Hills, I was like, damn. So the Prophet really went through this, and I didn't even know that, right? But the Prophet, for a decade or so, he was just preaching, and there's no results to show. For a decade, think about it. Allah delayed the big reward from the Prophet for a decade of him preaching. So who am I to basically just show up? The moment I don't get results, I end up quitting. Who am I to do that? if the Prophet was patient for like a whole decade. And sometimes, like, learning stories like that actually changes my perspective on how to go about life. And that is why, like, I feel like I'm called to basically make this video this morning, even though I'm sick right now. You can kind of tell by my voice if you've been watching my previous videos. But how blessed am I to be in a warm car right now? I have my hero on. Who am I to complain that I cannot come downstairs and do my push-ups? Our ancestors were going to war, and our biggest battle is lust. Our biggest battle is that drink, is that girl, is sleeping in, not working out. What a shame. And I'm talking to myself including, right? I struggle with these things. I am not perfect by any means. I'll keep repeating this because sometimes, like, on my Instagram, people perceive me as like, oh, you're just a robot. You don't have no days off. How can someone take days off from doing push-ups every single morning? And I'm saying this because every single morning, I'm actually, like, on my Instagram stories, I haven't missed in like 6 months of me doing my push-ups consistently. 50 push-ups every single morning. I do not miss before 6 a.m. And I hate the fact that some people perceive me as like, okay, this guy is just, he's weird. What is so weird about showing up consistently? I don't even take it as a big deal. And this is not me, like, trying to be like egotistical, but like, it's just to show you that we can do so much more. Because the prophets, the people we look up to, the people on the hierarchy of things, like, have went through this. They will literally eat everything you will do for a week in a day for breakfast, because that is how persistent, that is how good they are. So who are you to complain the fact that you're faced with a little temptation to just give in to it? Brother, you have so much blessings than you even realize, and you won't appreciate and be grateful for this unless you face a problem. Just like me today, when I was humbled yesterday. I thought, like, because I have this mindset I have built through the struggles I overcame, through my life's experiences, I thought at some point, like, I can out-discipline Allah. I literally thought that for a second. Like I said, like, I just started, like, believing more and more into Allah recently. Like, last Ramadan, that was when I really started, like, believing in Allah. But before that, I was like, man, people are dying in Gaza. These wars are happening. Where is Allah? Where is all of these things? But I wasn't even reading the Quran in the first place. I didn't know anything about any verse and whatnot. No wonder I thought that way. No wonder Shaitan was in my head. As a result, me and my self-improvement journey, making content inspiring other men, I felt like my discipline was enough. But brother, no matter how disciplined you are, if you lack faith, you will not reach your full potential. I guarantee you that. And you can try it yourself. And there's a reason why you're watching this video, brother. And if you're going to take away anything from this video, that is to basically have faith. Get closer to Allah. And once again, I don't care what you believe in. But I was born a Muslim. That is what I'm going to stand for. And I believe in Allah and only Allah. But if you're a Christian dude watching this, like, don't feel offended by this. That's just the reality. If I was born a Christian, my perspective would be different. But it doesn't matter, brother. As long as you have faith in your heart, as long as your intentions is to do something good, it doesn't matter what you worship, in my opinion. Just go at it. Believe, do good deeds, give charity, brother. Pray for people. Like, literally, I pray for my enemies, brother. I literally pray for people that I know do not want to see me win. I literally pray for them, because whatever you wish to someone, you're kind of also wishing to yourself. But you have to realize that you have the ability to show up every single day and conquer from the moment you wake up. And Ramadan, when I got back, like, closer to Allah, before that I hadn't prayed in like a whole year. But Ramadan, I was like, man, this time it's gonna be different, because the Ramadan in 2025 was like absolutely destructive. I would literally go out, all I cared about was girls. And as embarrassing as this sounds, there was a period I would literally pray, Ya Allah, please, get me closer to my crush. And Allah will literally answer my prayer. That's how much He loved me. But then he put these obstacles in front of me. He made me depressed to basically get closer to him. And now here I am. I've come to realize, like, you will not reach your full potential without Allah. You have to get closer to him. No matter how disciplined you are, no matter how much you think your mindset is unbreakable, just like me before. And even if you're doing good for yourself, I don't care if you're making 10K, I don't care if you're making money, you're rich. Brother, imagine if you actually had faith. That will actually double. And that is a video I came to make today because, you know, just being sick in the past couple of days, not showing up with the energy I usually show up with, not being in the flow state I am usually in after like my cold shower, because every single morning I do my 50 push-ups, I go back upstairs, I take my cold shower, I meditate and journal. But yesterday I literally couldn't do that. I had it in my mind, the mindset was there, but like physically I just couldn't get myself to do it. And all I could do was just, you know, crawl back to sleep, which I actually hate, because I don't want to be a person that curses, but sometimes like I just feel weak, you know, for doing certain things, like snoozing my alarm. Like this is a no-no for me. But yesterday I had to do it after going back to sleep. But this just goes to show you that like I'm not perfect at all, right? And I had to share it on my stories. This is why like you should obviously like check out my Instagram, because I'm not gonna say this in an egotistical way, but I'll be one of the best people you follow, simply because sure, I do not have a big following, but guess what? Everything I talk about is from the heart, it's from experience. I do not hide anything. I share my flaws to people so people can actually resonate with it, because in an online world these days, nobody want to share you like the things they struggle with. Nobody want to share the fact that they have relapsed. Nobody want to share that. But I'll be the person that share that whenever I do so, and it is exactly what I do on my Instagram stories. I document every single thing from the moment I wake up, from the moment I do not feel like doing my push-ups, and the mental perspective I actually applied in myself to basically overcome that hurdle and show up in the gym and crush that workout. I drop everything there. There's nothing to hold back on. This is what Allah has called me to do. This is what the Prophet did. He was preaching, getting people closer to Allah, to the right things. I'm not saying, I'm obviously not a prophet by any means. I'm not a messenger from Allah, but in my mindset is that like Allah has called me to serve people as well, in the best of my abilities. And it is exactly what I will do. So check out my Instagram. I'm gonna link you on my description below. Check out my Instagram stories every single day. I haven't been talking about Allah too much on my Instagram stories, because I recently just started talking about Allah on my, you know, on my content, and I'm just getting few followers from it so far. So I do not have like a big following with Muslim brothers. Usually the guys I have are Christians. Even some of, I think all of my clients, besides one guy, yeah, they're Christians. But even when they came to me, I got them closer through what they believe in, because I know that is the only way they can maximize their potential. The bad habits you're struggling with, the lust, the temptations, the weed, all of these things, man. And even if you're addicted right now, like you're very, very hooked, do not be scared, because this is something I used to be scared of. I thought like, you know, because I had these bad habits, I couldn't get closer to Allah. But this is when you actually need him the most. This is when you actually need faith the most, because you're struggling. Do not run away from him, and he forgives, right? Get closer to him. Pray every single time. Execute every single day. But you have to have a purpose as well, not just like, it shouldn't always be like, you know, putting the bad habit aside without replacing it with anything. This is the mistake I used to do. I used to tell myself, oh, I've quit this, so I would just sit like that. What is gonna feel in that spot? Because if you do not feel a terrible habit with a good habit, guess what? Your brain will automatically go back to the easier habit, which is a bad habit, automatically, by default, by literally default. So if you have taken like corn, you know, lust out of your life, replace it with something. Like for me, I used to struggle with lust in the morning for some reason. You know, I'll wake up with this energy, with this high testosterone, and I would give in to it instead of actually using that. That is why like my morning routine is unbreakable. It's an unbreakable process. I wake up every single day without losing my alarm, no matter how I feel, and I comes downstairs to basically knock out my 50 push-ups, regardless of being sore from yesterday's workout, from yesterday's chest and bicep workout. It doesn't matter. I still drop down. I actually love that soreness. I actually love that because it enforces me putting in the work. And as a result, I go back upstairs, take my cold shower, mad uncomfortable. I do not feel like hopping inside of it. But that is exactly why I do it. After that, I journal, reflect, express some gratitude. And I serve others like I'm doing right now. And that is because I have replaced it with my bad habit. During that time, before having my morning routine, during the time I used to come downstairs to do my push-ups was usually the time I would give in to lust. How destructive was that? But I guess I went through that, for a reason. And if you're someone who is struggling with this right now, like, brother, you're not alone. I've been in that spot, and I know how it feels, bro. Going in public, like, knowing that you've once again given into something that it's not good for your soul, is destructive to you. I know that shame. I know that lack of confidence. Do you think I would actually be making videos like this if I was still giving into bad habits? Absolutely no. This energy wouldn't be inside of me, right? But I don't want to keep this video too long, but this is what I have in mind. And if you've watched till the end, brother, like, this video obviously, like, sorry, my storage got full. It's like I kind of new. That is why I don't like keeping the videos too long. I still have to figure out my storage issues. But please drop a subscribe. If not, no problem. I also get it. But check out my Instagram stories. Like, it will be very valuable to you. And that is all I have for this video. Peace.